I buy her some red bottom Christian Louboutin shoes. And I'm talking sparkly, diamondy, great to me. You know, hand her these shoes on the gram. She's opening the box. I'm already recording like this is perfect for my story. Yeah, no, this is gonna kill. She doesn't like, I noticed in the story and she didn't give me the reaction I wanted, so I didn't post it. I was like, you know what, I don't really like how you, I want another take. I want to give you a chance to give me what I was going for in my shot. So now, a week or two later, she comes back and she's like, you know what? I don't even like those shoes. I don't even like gaudy shoes like that. I want you to take these back and get me a pair that I'll like. So I'm like, now y'all want to hear some truth? We were working on in our marriage being completely open and honest at the time. We had heard it in podcasts, so we're trying it, right? So I say, man, you're getting really difficult to shop for. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's the one.
Sound effects.
Then I follow that up and I say, I know some women that would have liked that gift.
So my first question is, why exactly did he say that? I mean, it just seems like he wanted to get into a fight, wanted to get into an argument. I totally agree with what he's saying and what they heard on the podcast about being open and stuff. But some things you don't have to be open about. You got to use wisdom in some of those situations.
Just to clarify, you're talking about in reference to him saying, I know some women who would be happy to have it.
Why the heck
I don't know.
would you have said, and who are these women, Kev?
Listen, I love Kev on stage and Mrs. Kev on stage, so shout out to them. They're two of my favorites. Come on, Kev. Why would you say that? I totally understand you're feeling some type of way about it, right? Because, dude, I bought you a gift. Like, this was Louboutins. They ain't no little rinky dink.
No.
I ran down the street to Aldo or Dillard's or something to grab these. No, these are Christian Louboutins.
Right.
So I get you wanting her to be like
head over heels in love.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a lot of money.
But at the same time, that's a lot of money for you to be spending on something I don't like.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
Yeah, that's a whole lot of money.
I love the totally open and honest. We have a thing in our marriage where we be like, in the spirit of communication, right? In the spirit of, if I start off that sentence with, in the spirit of communication, that means I'm about to tell you something that you probably not gonna like, but I need to say it anyway, right?
Let's open those ears.
Yes, I think it's amazing. I think that makes for an amazing relationship, open communication. It gives you the space to say what needs to be said, but also in a respectful, mature way, right? Don't just in the spirit of communication or being totally honest, go off, right? But I think that's a great tool to use. And this is a funny example, but I think it's a great tool to use when there's something that is occurring within your relationship that you are not in agreement with. Or just in life, it doesn't even necessarily have to be specific to your relationship, but let's just...
Yeah, I agree. But in the spirit of communication, when you say those types of things, being openly honest, you still have to be considerate of the feelings of your partner. I mean, honestly, though, sometimes no matter how you say whatever you're going to say, it's still gonna be a dagger.
Like in that situation.
But I don't think I would not have said that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in her being honest that she doesn't like these shoes. Like you picked something that I didn't like. I'm sure that would hurt your feelings in some way. It might not hurt yours because you don't care about nothing, but it would hurt my feelings, right? That you don't like something that I just really thought that was a home run, man. I thought that was a good one, right?
Yeah.
That would make you feel kind of bad, disappointed.
But you still have to be in a place though, even if your feelings are going to be hurt by something like that, because it can go both ways. It's a 50-50 situation. I would hope you would want your partner to be truthful with you in that and not just keep something that they're not didn't we talk about the business card holder?
Yes, we did.
See,
we did.
I'm sure
It hurt my feelings
that
but
I never used it.
Yes.
But if I would have said, yeah, thank you, but I don't really like this. I don't need this. That would have hurt your feelings. But I'm sure you would have appreciated that, though.
I'm almost positive you said something along those lines.
I didn't, though.
You
I didn't
sure?
say anything. I just took it.
Okay.
I took it because I didn't want to hurt your feelings. But that was immature me. And mature me understands that I can voice my disdain or my dislike of something without, being overly critical or disrespecting you, and keeping in mind your thoughts and your feelings, And again, like I said, sometimes you'll say something, and no matter the way you slice it, it's gonna gonna hurt. It's gonna
But
hurt.
that should not stop you from being
No.
open and having effective communication, because at the end of the day, your relationship is dead in the water if you don't have effective communication. If I can't come to you and tell you something that you are not going to want to hear or not like or not be agreeable with, then that's going to put roadblocks up in our relationship.
Right.
It's going to throw up walls in our relationship that we're not going to be able to get through because there is a discomfort. Even if it's just on me, like maybe you haven't even done anything. Maybe it's just on me. Like, I'm not comfortable coming to you with this because I know that you're not going to like it, right? That's going to throw up a roadblock, and I'm not going to be able to come to you with whatever it is.
Right. But on I was going to touch on kind of on that as well. Sometimes they'll say that, certain people could feel a way or feel a certain type of way where they're not feeling safe about coming to their partner about some things. And that may be true for some, but then there's also the other side of that where, it's really just a you situation. It's not that your partner is making you feel unsafe. It's just an insecurity that you have within yourself. And if you have that insecurity within yourself, then that's something that you got to work on, because if you can't be completely truthful with your partner, your mate, your wife, your spouse, your husband, then there's an issue there, because that, like you said, throws up a roadblock. You'll never get to that level of intimacy that you would desire to have with someone with that nice wall in between there that's stopping you from being completely truthful because of the fear of rejection, the fear of judgment, or whatever fears you have. It could be scary. I assume for most people. I ain't never scared, but that's just me. I'm gonna tell you the truth either way it goes, but I am going to be, in a position where I'm not just flat out trying to hurt your feelings. I'm going to make sure, and that's another thing. You have to know your partner as well. You have to know your mate. You have to know how to communicate with them so that you don't just crash and burn within the conversation and cause them to crash and burn. I don't know how you get to that point in the very beginning. You have to learn each other. And I guess it'll take time for everybody, but you do have to be secure within yourself to be able to understand that you do yourself a disservice when you don't tell the truth. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because you like that. Listen, coming from a people pleaser, that's me. I am very much a people pleaser. I don't like people to be offended, disappointed, feeling some type of way. It bothers me. It gives me a little bit of anxiety, to be honest about it. And it took time, and it took me actually tearing down that wall, because it wasn't that he made me feel unsafe. It was just a simple fact. I don't want even the smallest amount of discomfort. I don't want to cause that discomfort. I don't want that to be from me. So being able to say, I don't like this, or I don't want this, or I don't agree with this, that was a hard thing for me to start doing, because I'm a very much I'll go with the flow type of person, even if I don't necessarily like it. And it could be something simple like
that could be dangerous.
Huh?
That can be a dangerous
situation. It can be very dangerous. I had to learn to just say how I felt. I might have gotten a little too good at it. I have to tone it back a little bit sometimes. But for a while, and not just with him, in relationships in general, friendships, families, acquaintances, work, all of that, I was very much a people pleaser, and I just went with the flow. And even if I didn't necessarily like something, if it was something minor, I'm not talking about something major, right? Like that goes against my core beliefs or something like that. Mostly minor things that I didn't necessarily like or agree with, I would just kind of go with it because whatever. I don't want to ruffle your feathers. I'm okay. It's not killing me. I'll just do it type of situation. But you do that so often, and you throw on these layers of things that you don't like to the point that you don't even, you start to forget what you do like almost, right? So you have to learn how to, it's speaking up for yourself to an extent. That's kind of what it boils down to. But it really is, it's a choice that you have to make in some instances. Now, there are instances where your partner simply, they're, a bottle under pressure waiting to pop with whatever. And that's a different situation. But a lot of times that's not the reality in which most of us live in, right? Mm-hmm. It's more of, I'm uncomfortable sharing this with you.
Right.
So you just kind of have to make those decisions and learn to be comfortable with being open and honest.
So the question I have for you, what do you think was the tipping point, or what do you think was the catalyst that caused you to go ahead and, step out of that, I'm just a people pleaser?
After being under other people's things for so long, again, simple things like what we're eating for lunch today, or, I don't like those shoes, I like these shoes. Just simple things. After being under that for so long, it really became, well, but I don't like this, so why am I still doing it? Mm. I want to do this. And it started with like just little small changes, and it started with small no's and small, well, let's do this instead because I don't want to do that. And it just kind of built from there. But it really, it was baby steps.
So you took it step by step, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, my motto. Mm-hmm. That ain't my business.
I know.
So I
had to take that on a little bit.
Yeah. So and basically my standpoint with that is, if it's something that basically that I can't control, or something that's just weighing me down, you got to take a step back and just, that ain't my business, and just let whatever unfold, especially if you have no control over it and it's something that somebody else is doing. I'm not about to let you disturb any kind of sense of peace that I have within me. And, I wanted to give that to you because you were being bothered by a lot of people.
I was.
And I was just like, hey, you gotta step out of that, because you can't allow people to have that much control over you, over your emotions. Like, these people are puppet masters around here.
Yeah.
If you get stuck there too long, you start to feel like these people are actually controlling you. Have you feeling up one day, have you feeling down another day? That's not a good way to live for anybody. So I'm glad you took those baby steps, because listen,
it took time. Didn't happen overnight. Did not happen overnight.
It did not happen overnight. But I mean, so what would be your advice for somebody, that is in that space of being a people pleaser, and especially in the confines of a relationship? Like, how would you say that? Because, some people, some men, they'll be in a relationship with a woman where she's running everything, and he feels like he can't say anything to her. Everything she says is right. And yes, honey. Yes, dear. Uh-huh. And then you also have the women that just feel like they can't say anything. Their husband might not be an abusive type of person, but there is a sense of dominance that's there that they may not feel comfortable with,
I think, again, because it is about comfort, you have to, for me, I just took the small quote unquote wins, like the little small ones. Like, again, simple stuff. Where we eat, what type of food we eat. I don't want chicken tonight. I want fish, and that's what we're going to have. And just small stuff like that. Eventually, that layers on top of each other, and you gain confidence, and you're able to say other things that may be a little bit bigger. I don't want to go to your mama's house this weekend. I don't like her. Stuff like that.
First of all, that's an example that has nothing to do with what's
Yes,
going on.
definitely an example.
Because y'all like to get a little heated about the parents' situation. But anyway, totally different. Yeah, I think that Kev handled the situation not so right, and I think he understands that.
I think his feelings was hurt.
I mean, I'm sure his feelings were definitely hurt. But if your feelings are hurt in that situation, there's no need to be petty about it. I'm sure you did know a lot of women that wanted those shoes or would like those shoes, but you just keep that to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because how did you meet these women, and how do you know that they would like these? So yeah, that caused a whole cascade of questions to come into play. You don't really want that. But yeah, I don't have anything else for this. Do you?
I don't. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.
Night.